I honestly can't believe we live in a time where the announcement of a new Halo is making me want to sell my Xbox, not buy an Xbox. Halo, the last Infinity Stone left on Xbox, is officially heading over to PS5 next year with a day one release. And the response from Microsoft has just been insult to injury. Like, that PR team just really needs to get a grip on life. And man, it has been so hard being an Xbox owner these past few years. I mean, I have a PlayStation, but I want Xbox to succeed. Like, that's the console I had growing up. Like, I want to see them do well, and they just take L after L. I really thought one day they'd be able to turn it around, but it's just been a steady crash downhill. Like, it's truly unbelievable. So today I want to go over what this all means for Xbox going forward, what their future consoles, what this new Halo game even is, and just how bad their response has been as a whole, with plenty of holes in their logic. And I'm also going to go over why I think this master plan of theirs is going to fail miserably. So Halo Campaign Evolved is a new Halo title coming out next year, and it will be on PlayStation 5 day one, along with Xbox and PC, and probably Game Pass if I had to imagine. And you might be asking, why are they making this game? We got a remastered of the Combat Evolved in like 2011. We have the Halo Master Chief Collection. Like, there's plenty of ways to play this Halo 1. Plenty. So why make this? Well, first of all, this will be on an Unreal Engine 5 343, which rebranded to Halo Studios, kind of to get rid of the bad rap that they got as a company with 4 and 5 and Infinite releases, especially Infinite. This is a brand new company with the leadership of the people behind the Master Chief Collection, so hopefully they can fix this. As you can see here, this is definitely an attempt to step away from the less than excellent history of 343. Hopefully they can fix their leadership issues and not repeat the same mistakes. I know that the guy who was in charge of fixing the Master Chief Collection is now in charge of the studio, so that gives people some hope. And when that Master Chief Collection launched, I mean, it didn't even run those first few weeks, and there wasn't a lot to it. But if you play it today, you can play like any mode from any of the games. There's a lot of cool things you can unlock. Like, I was a big Halo Reach fan. That was my favorite Halo growing up. I loved all the cosmetics you can unlock on there, and a lot of them, if not all, are pretty much all built within Reach. Like, you can unlock it through their own little unlock system now. It's just, they've done a lot with that game, so that is somewhat of a good sign. So the game itself, Halo Campaign Evolved, this is a remake, not a remaster. A remaster is what they did in 2011, pretty much, where you just take the game, and what was good about that game, you pretty much leave it like that. You pretty much just polish it with the remaster, whereas a remake, you completely remake the game from the ground up, and you add new mechanics and change the fundamentals of the game. That's pretty much what this is. So IGN actually got to sit down and talk about this with the developers. They didn't get a ton of good answers, but to IGN's credit, they asked some good questions. So yeah, they sat down. We know Unreal Engine 5 is fully capable. I also didn't want Halo Studios to mess with too much, or did I? Would Halo 1 just feel old no matter what? And will PlayStation 5 gamers even care about this 25-year-old Xbox classic? All right, let's see. So how it looks. Is my face properly melted? No, but maybe yours is. I'll be curious to read the comments on this one. We can see the images. I mean, there's some cool things about it. It's Unreal Engine 5. I wouldn't say it's mind-blowing like some of the Unreal Engine 5 stuff you see, like with The Witcher 4. Like, that game is just photorealistic. I don't know what to expect with this game. I guess they didn't want to go too far. I mean, it looks really good. It looks like how you would expect a reimagined version of Halo would look. But you might be asking yourself, like I was asking when I first heard this, where's the multiplayer? Where's the multiplayer in 2025 with this game? You released Halo Infinite with a lot of core features missing from previous games, and once again, we're kind of getting a half-baked release. What about co-op? After Halo Studios fumbled that in Halo Infinite, you're probably wondering about it for the remake. 2-player split screen is confirmed, though sadly it wasn't available in my short preview. And the development team also promises 4-player online co-op with full player crossplay and cross-progression support. He worded this kind of interesting, like they promised this. This is kind of one of those things where the wording that these developers use with these early game tests and play tests, it's a little tricky. Like, does that mean promise on release, or promise that they're working on it, or even promise that it's going to be in the game one day? Because that is literally a thing we've seen with the previous developers of Halo, Bungie with Marathon. They were kind of sales pitching the players there, like what makes this game unique. And they were saying things that weren't even, not only not in the game yet, but that weren't even being worked on within the game yet. Like, it wasn't going to be ready for launch. That's why it got delayed, obviously. So yeah, I don't know what that means. We'll see. As for proper competitive multiplayer though, unfortunately the answer to that is right in the name of this remake, Campaign Evolved. There's no multiplayer here, which is a shame because it'd be fun to see. I couldn't agree more. I just don't get why we get these half-baked games of classics. Like with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, out of all the COD fans out there, I would say the one that you see at number one the most is the OG MW2. You got some people with MW1, MW3, Black Ops 2 is obviously very high on people's top 5 list or whatever you want to call them. But MW2, that is a all-time classic, and when they did finally remaster that after years and years and years of leaks and rumors and cancellations, things like that, they released only the campaign. That's it. It was just the campaign remastered. I actually bought that and never even played it, unfortunately. If it's just a campaign, I'll just go play the original at that point. So how does Halo Studios respond to this question? I asked Halo Studios about this, and the executive producer gave me an extremely media-trained answer, saying the team is very focused on recreating their original campaign that started it all. Like, yeah, we know you're making the campaign. The point of the question was to get some new details on multiplayer. Like, why aren't you making multiplayer campaigns in the title? I'm playing the campaign. What about multiplayer? Or focus on the campaign. Like, what does that even mean? What? Yeah, I know you are. That's why I'm asking. So we see here, Halo Infinite and Master Chief Collection provide really great experiences for multiplayer. Yeah, but what about something new? Like something new people can play with multiplayer. And again, that doesn't help for PS5, which doesn't have access to Infinite or Master Chief Collection anyways. Why are they making this? Why not make a brand new multiplayer experience since Halo Infinite got off to such a rough, brutal start? Well, for starters, this is a very easy task for them to do. This should be a home run. After the success of Oblivion earlier this year, which kind of was on the line between a remake and a remaster, but it was very successful. It was an Unreal Engine 5 of a game from like 20 years ago on Game Pass, and was probably the coolest thing that they did this year. Besides Expedition 33 being on Game Pass, it was one of the cooler things they did this year. It was a stealth drop. And I think they see that as the same thing. 343 has a lot to prove. They have a long ways to go to get in the good graces of Halo fans, and this is kind of an easy home run for them. It's on Unreal Engine 5. It should look good. It's an instant classic. This should be good. And again, no multiplayer, but they are adding a 3-mission prequel and some other new things with inside of it. So yeah, this is a low-risk, high-reward remake. So if that's the case, why does this suck so much as an Xbox fan? Especially when we knew this was kind of coming. We saw Gears of War over on PlayStation, Forza over on PlayStation. We knew Halo was coming eventually, but why did this suck so much? Well, for starters, they were kind of forced into doing this, and they were also forced into doing a lot of things that skewed the Xbox players even more. This was the official post on PlayStation. If you look at the comments, I mean, Cuck Campaign Evolved. We got this, which is recently we've seen retailers like Target and Walmart starting to carry less Xboxes, some Targets carrying none altogether, Costco pulling the console from their website, and all of the products that are affiliated with Microsoft. And earlier this year, we've just been getting hit with L after L. They increased the prices of Xboxes. I think the base Xbox Series X is $650, the most expensive being $800 for a 5-year-old console. Again, keep in mind, this is not a refresh console. This is the same exact power that you were buying for $500 in 2020. They also increased the price of Game Pass up to $30 at the max threshold, and all the other tiers are also being increased. And all of this was done because they were forced to do this. Microsoft, the daddy company, tasked them with getting 30% profit margins, which could explain the reasons behind its price hikes and mass layoffs. That's another thing I forgot. Mass layoffs. A lot of games canceled altogether because of how expensive Game Pass has become for them to pay these companies to have the games on Game Pass. They've lost out on the money of building their own games and their own exclusives. Xbox has reportedly been tasked by Microsoft to deliver a 30% profit margin. If true, it could explain recent studio closures and price hikes across hardware. Bloomberg notes the average profit margin target is typically around 17 to 22%. That is huge. And as I point out here, like I just mentioned, they increased the console prices, they increased Game Pass subscriptions, to the point where it's almost not even worth it. In my opinion, with Game Pass, if you have to do that math in your head, you should just buy the games because then you own the games. Like if it's not a clear, like this is really good value, it's not worth it in my opinion. And we're at that point now where it's kind of getting there, if not already. So what happened to Xbox? Like why are they doing any of this in the first place? Why aren't they making their own games like we see with Nintendo and Sony? First of all, Phil Spencer said a long time ago, and he said many times, to keep games off of other platforms, that's not a path for us. It doesn't work when talking about exclusive. I heard this multiple times from him over the past few years, and I just wholeheartedly disagree with this take. Wholeheartedly. And we've seen the success of other companies with this. Like if Xbox, imagine if they had big titles like God of War, Ghost of Yotei, Helldivers. I mean, Helldivers is on there now, but imagine if they had their own titles and reasons to play and buy an Xbox. Exclusives are what drive consoles. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to bad PR. With an article, an interview in Japan, in the interview, he said he really liked the game Death Stranding 2, which to me is just hilarious. Like, I know Death Stranding 1 did come over to Xbox, but it's still a PlayStation exclusive that launches day one only on PlayStation. Like, a reason people would want to buy or play a certain console and company, like, just makes no sense to me. Like, he's literally doing what other people do. You buy a console that has the games you want to play. That's just a core fundamental of what people do. And he's literally doing that with PlayStation, with Death Stranding 2. I just thought that was hilarious because if Xbox had good exclusives still, people would still be playing Xbox. So what exactly is their plan to keep making consoles that don't have games on them? What do they get out of that? Well, their plan is to essentially turn Xbox into PC. Like, Xbox will be a brand, not necessarily like a platform. Instead of being in the hardware, they're trying to get into software. Like, they want their next Xbox to be a PC. It's going to be a premium experience. The new Xbox, they didn't officially announce it, but they pretty much hinted at it earlier this year. It will have Steam and other things like Epic Play Store. It will have things on that on their next console. You know, we can see it with their handheld right here. This is essentially just a mini PC with Xbox branding on it. That's what the Xbox handheld is. It's not like you can play native Xbox games on it unless they're Xbox Play Anywhere. Like, I can't play my Xbox 360 games on it unless they're already on PC. The games you're playing are PC versions of those games. Like, if I have Red Dead Redemption 2 on my Xbox, I can't play it on my Xbox handheld. It has to be the PC version of Red Dead 2. So yeah, owing to a variety of rapid-fire strategy changes, large-scale layoffs, and disappointing price hikes, Microsoft hasn't exactly ingratiated itself to the remaining Xbox faithful as of late. I think it's literally just because of the Xbox branding on it. Like, people who probably play consoles and didn't look into it too much probably thought this was an Xbox handheld. And they probably don't know the difference. I mean, if it plays the games, and if they play a lot of games that are on Game Pass and Xbox Play Anywhere, they're good to go. And then, as we can see here, as many of us have come to expect, the next Xbox will indeed run full-bore Windows with a TV-optimized console-style experience layered on top. Xbox decided to sideline its own Xbox handheld plans and go to market with Xbox Ally in partnership with Asus this year, and start gathering feedback on the experience that will essentially power its next wave of console hardware. I'm told Microsoft still plans to make its own handheld eventually, too, along the lines of this plan. Xbox president Sarah Bond has teased a variety of first-party hardware made in partnership with AMD. This is what I was talking about earlier. They did completely tease that Steam will be on the next Xbox, which, like, I mean, it's cool. In general, that's a cool thing, but the $1,000 price tag that we're probably going to see with a premium console like this isn't cool. And I truly don't think this is going to work because we see what works with other consoles. So PS5, which still wholeheartedly believes in exclusives, we can see here, they're getting crazily outsold. Over the last 12 months, PlayStation has sold 14 million more. We can see total sales here, it's over double. Like, it's almost 3-to-1 for PlayStation. Like, every 3 PlayStation sold, there's an Xbox sold. We can see with Nintendo, they broke huge records. This console was bashed before release for its price, for numerous things, but it has a ton of remakes for exclusive titles, new exclusives that came out this year, like Donkey Kong, extremely successful along with other titles. It had the Nintendo family built into it that you can only play there, and it broke records as one of the best-selling consoles of all time on release. The supply was there and the demand was there for it. So yeah, we can see clearly off numbers, exclusives still work. And if Xbox just made their own good games, people would have a reason to buy it and play it. I think this is the reason why Xbox will ultimately fail with this big plan of theirs. If their most expensive console right now is the $800 for the 2TB, $650 for the base, their Xbox S is $400. This next one you can imagine is probably going to be $1,000, kind of similar to one of the versions of their handheld, which is $1,000, maybe even $1,200. What person's going to want to spend that much for a console when they could A, build their own PC at that point, which is modular? They can take the parts in and out, customize it, it'll last a long time. It's a PC. Like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to compete with that if you can't compete with the price of it. Like, now, if you were making a console that could run all of this and also competed with other console prices like a Switch or a PlayStation, you'd be in the race. But I just don't think this is gonna work at all. We can see what works for consoles. It's so clear. Nintendo sells well. Sony sells well. Why? Because they have the exclusives and they have the good games. And at this point, you've gotten rid of everything that makes an Xbox. This was it. Halo on PlayStation, Gears of War on PlayStation, Forza on PlayStation, Game Pass you can play on PC. What's the point of buying an Xbox? Seriously, what would be the point of buying this brand new Xbox that they're making? I seriously don't see one. If you want to play older games, play them on your older Xbox. If you want to play PC games, play it on PC. If you want to play any other console games, play them on a PlayStation, where you have also access to their huge library and where a majority of the player bases are at this point. Like, PlayStation will be the home for consoles. And with Game Pass increasing in price over and over, and it being a failing model unless they get rid of all of their first-party games, that is not sustainable in my opinion. I really don't think that the average person who plays consoles is going to spend that extra money on the higher price tag when comparing consoles to buy, when he can just play all of his games and then more on PlayStation. And speaking of native handhelds, the PlayStation 6 is said to have a dockable handheld with it. That's the rumor going around. What can Xbox do to compete with that when their handheld is just a mini PC? Just go buy a Steam Deck or any of the other PC handhelds, or that one. It's not an Xbox. You can run your Steam games off of it. They really don't get much out of this handheld. Like, if PlayStation has all the games and a dockable handheld with the PS6, GG's only. And I'm sure enthusiasts will buy it. The hardcore Xbox fans will buy this and they will spend the money on it, but the console sales, I expect the gap between PlayStation and Xbox to just get bigger and bigger. Yeah, like I said, I'm selling my Xbox at this point. Like, I see no reason in owning one. I might as well play all of my games on PlayStation. If I want to play Game Pass games, play them on PC. If I want to play any other console game, play on PlayStation. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, check out my channel if you want more stuff like this, if this is your cup of tea. Leave a like if you enjoyed this. It would mean a lot to me. And out of all this yapping I just did, I can't believe Halo doesn't have multiplayer with the new game.